Adversity, our constant companion.
We're going to need help if we hope to figure out Garrosh's plan for Pandaria. I have someone specific in mind, but he will not be easy to convince. Agent Connolly considers himself retired, but one does not simply leave the SI-7. We've had an undercover agent following his every move for months. Currently, he is disguising himself as a high roller at Bismo's Brawl Pub. Something about settling an old debt. Meet with our undercover agent in the Brawlers Guild.
The Alliance must prevail. Remember,
time is of the essence. Provator Grantley may be able to help you get back to Stormwind. Of course, everything has a price. I believe in regular retail, when this was current, you didn't get a portal like this. I think they added some of these portals so that players could just be able to have more convenience for these quests in Remix. So, see, here's the thing. You guys of course know about the tram, the train that connects Stormwind and Ironforge, right? How many of you? Because I will admit, I'm mainly a Horde player, not an Alliance player, so I'm more familiar with where certain things are located on the Horde side of things, not so much on the Alliance. So I didn't know about this. It's a good thing I didn't go down there just now, because holy moly. Obviously, you gotta be careful about the train, but I didn't realize the Brawlers Guild for the Alliance was actually located down here, under the tram. And I was just like, whoa, really? This is actually kind of nuts. Look at this. Keith the Party Weston.
Hey there.
There is not nearly enough dancing in this club. Uh-huh.
See you later.
And he's just gonna make up for it by dancing himself.
What brings you here?
Uh-huh. Ah. This is the vendor for the stuff in the Brawlers Guild here. Mm-hmm.
Speak quickly.
Sorry, Demon Hunter. Guild's closed down for renovations right now. Boss man says something about preparing for the next big thing.
Careful out there.
Excuse me. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to go behind the bar. Sorry. Barkeep?
You need something?
Can I get you something to drink? Are you the agent that is following Conley?
Safe travels.
Shh, you'll blow my cover. That's why I'm whispering.
Hello. See you later.
Following Connolly has been interesting to say the least. The man is a master of disguise. Talking him into joining you won't be the hard part. Figuring out which of these lively individuals is him will be next to impossible.
Have a good one.
Now, I could tell you who Connolly is, but that wouldn't be too easy. You do know this is an important mission, right? To catch a spy, you have to think like a spy. You have to pass the test first. The small things can say a lot about a person. It's all in the details. I'm going to give you a drink to deliver. I'll give you a small detail about something to the recipient that the recipient is wearing. From there, it will be up to you. Be careful who you pick up to give drinks to. People here tend to get pretty hostile if you give them the wrong order. Okay, Townsley, I know you're trying to make this a little bit more fun and such for me, but I want to remind you, we are in the middle of an important mission. But fine, I'll play along. Deliver the pink marmot, the Mogu melon twist, and the rusty dagger to the correct patron.
See you around. Good day to you.
Alright, give me the first clue.
Safe travels.
They say the eyes are the window to the soul. If that's the case, I'm guessing the guests in their soul have something to hide. Really?
Hey there. See you around.
Can I help you?
No.
All right then.
Wait a minute. It's because he's wearing... Yep, he's wearing glasses.
Good day to you.
Excuse me, is this your drink order?
Safe travel.
Ah, it's about time. I'm parched over here. Alright, Townsley,
How are you?
give me the next one.
See you later.
This guest wears a memento of a love lost. I guess it's true what they say. Every love story has its thorns, just like every night has its dawn. I wonder... Oh, because of the rose in her hair. Something about watching people fight to the death really warms my heart. Really? You didn't happen to order a rusty dagger, did you?
Be seeing you.
Don't be ridiculous. Of course it's my drink.
You need something?
Alright, last clue.
Have a good one.
It's best not to get on the bad side of those that prepare your food. However, I'm not sure this patron is anything but a bad side. Well, that's a dead giveaway. This Pandarian's wearing a chef's hat.
Come, speak with me.
Tasha Windpaw. Can't a girl just get a drink without being hassled? Does this drink belong to you?
Keep the peace.
Of course it's my drink. I invented this, you know. Okay, Townsley.
Good day
I
to
played your game.
See you around.
You have a keen eye. I think you're ready to meet Connolly.
Have a good one.
Stirred, not shaken. Oh my gosh. We had to get the James Bond reference in there. Alright, I'll tell you how to find Connolly. Agent Connolly is currently posing as the high roller Professor Kilt. He spends most of his time in the boom room. Rumor has it he's after one of the fighters for some long-forgotten betrayal. Unfortunately, the lounge is by invitation only. Lucky for you, I just happen to have an invitation. Try not to look too obvious when you walk past the bouncers. If you get caught, you didn't get this pass from me. In fact, you and I have never met.
See you later.
Is that so?
Slow down.
Interesting. When Bismo and his team carved this pub into the side of the deep-run tram, he took a big risk. Lots of gold went into building this place. So he built this VIP room. The boom room, he calls it. Better views of the fight, all the top-shelf drinks that you can buy, and the satisfaction of knowing that you can get into an exclusive member-only club. Excuse me. For you see, he only lets you up if you are rank 6 or higher. You want to get into the boom room? Keep winning your fights, kid.
Enough of that.
So, I'm guessing you won't let me in? Nope, never mind. Apparently, it's all good. Don't mind me. Don't mind me. Uh-huh.
Honored, I'm sure. Very good.
Excuse me, Professor Kilt.
You got my attention?
So the SS7 needs a reminder on what the word retirement means? I suppose they wouldn't be coming to me if the situation went dire. I'll help, but I'll need a few days to gather some intel.
Off with you.
So, you want me to go join the Alliance front in this Pandaria, eh? Alright, I'll go, but this is the last time I'm going to infiltrate the Horde. And I mean it! I'm off to gather supplies and reconnect with old contacts. If I need backup in Pandaria, I'll send for you. Uh-huh. And that already got me to Honored. Gosh, don't you just love getting 3,000 rep for doing a single quest? Alright, Taylor, what's the next part of this? What's the next mission?
The Alliance shall prevail.
Agent Connolly has managed to infiltrate Garrosh's camp in Kunlai. He's been following their every move. Connolly requested you specifically to assist him in gathering some vital intelligence. He sent along a disguise for you. Make sure you put it on before approaching the camp. It will no doubt be heavily guarded. He insists that you will know him when you see him. Something about your keen eye for details. Go talk to Fenny over there for a drop-off.
We mustn't fail.
So this is the bummer about doing this on the Alliance compared to the Horde. On the Horde, you get tac-tac when you're flying along. Now, don't get me wrong. I like Fenny. Or, you know, I'll call her Fenny instead of Hornswoggle because then I can't, not picture Hornswoggle from WWE. I'll just call her Fenny. I like Fenny, but she's no tac-tac. I'm up to my pretty knickers in administrative duties, but what else is new? Oh my, you must be the hero that everyone has been telling me about. So by the way, I actually hopped on my Horde character, and once I realized where they were, I came over here and got them for the achievement. Oops, how do you fly one of these things? Oh, for light's sake, you crummy piece of whackery! Work! A Grummel disguise kit. Yes, we're going to be disguising ourselves as a Grummel. Oh, sorry, I'm still getting the hang of these things around here. Nope. Can't do that right now. My older sister Hilda told me to expect you. So yeah, there's Hilda Hornswoggle and Fenny Hornswoggle. Hilda was the one we met earlier, so this is now her sister. She wouldn't let me go down to the excavation, so I'd become some of a personal assistant and chauffeur. Well, we all have our jobs. Whatever we can do to assist the Alliance. Anyway, I met that SI7 agent that you brought back out of retirement. Don't worry, we'll get our fill of hosen when we encounter a certain someone later. Agent Connolly, ain't it? That man's got some charm and some nerve. His sweet words made me blush 10 ways out of Ironforge. Huh. Why do I get the feeling that Connolly is supposed to be the James Bond of the Alliance? He's on the field now and waiting for your special. I mean, we did have a quest called Stirred Not Shaken. I'm taking it close to the Horde encampment though, so you'd best be on your guard. I can just see Connolly going, Connolly. Agent Connolly. Let Connolly know that Fenny's asking about him. Uh-huh. I actually don't remember if we ever see both Fenny and Connolly end up together or not. It would be amusing if that was true. Psst. Hey, over here. It's me, Agent Connolly. Don't blow your disguise. And now I'm a Grummel. You smell of good fortune.
Many greetings.
I love that his name is Cousin Goottooth. Oh, you've arrived just in time. From the intel I've gathered, Garrosh is hot on the trail of some sort of ancient Mogu artifact of power. If we can figure out what he's after, we can stop him from getting it. We have to act fast to gather as much information as possible.
May your feet find good trails.
Many greetings to you, traveler.
Farewell, friend of the Grummels.
I managed to plant a few bugs around the camp, but there could always be more. I disguised the bugs to look like statues. They blended perfectly with the other artifacts lying around. Your disguise should allow you to move freely around the camp. Just don't go near the dog, and don't linger around Garrosh. Nero and Garrosh will see through your disguise. If you get caught, I can't help you. I can't compromise the mission. This is one thing that irritates me about this mission. There's a good thing about this mission right here, this quest, and a bad thing. I love the fact that the Korkron guards are not going to pay us any attention because we're Grummels. Why would they even notice us? They're just going to ignore us entirely. The part that bothers me about the dog recognizing seeing through our defense, that makes entire sense. It's a dog. Of course, it'd be like, hey, wait a minute. The fact that Garrosh can somehow see through my disguise when we know that Garrosh is a moron, is dumb as bricks, just bothers me. It's like, really, of all people that could actually somehow just instantly see through my disguise, it's Garrosh? It just breaks my believability on this. Like, everything else, the dog seeing through, the Korkron ignoring us, everything about that I can believe. The one thing I can't believe is that Garrosh could somehow be like, wait a minute, you're an Alliance spy! No, not Garrosh.
Many farewells.
I've noticed Garrosh and that reliquary blood elf carrying around some sort of journal. The journal is never more than a stone's throw away. It must be important. If you can cause enough of a distraction, you may be able to swipe the journal off the table. These yaks might do the trick. Give them one of them a tap, and they'll do the rest. Just be ready to move fast.
Good fortune to our friends.
So again, as we just walk in, and the Korkrons are just like, whatever, we don't care. But if we get close to Garrosh, all of a sudden he's going to be like, wait a minute. Come on, Yaks. And Garrosh is like forced to run away, like, wah! Get them under control. No, no, no. Garrosh, no.
What's your lucky do? May your feet...
Well
find
done.
good
Everyone
trails.
always underestimates the little guys, and it is always a great mistake. Too true.
Farewell, friend of the Grummles.
Oh, can I read this? Yes, I can.
Fortune to our friends.
In the 170th year of the Thunder King's reign, the Korun Spellweavers came to Lei Shen with their greatest creation. A bell cast from the Maker's flesh, shaped by stars' fire, and bound by the breath of darkest shadow. This bell, when rung, could shake the world and call to the heavens. Taken to war, the bell's cacophonous tones stirred the hearts of Lei Shen's warriors. It fueled their hatred and anger, lending them strength on the field of battle. The bell's screaming voice struck fear and doubt into the hearts of the Emperor's enemies, sending them fleeing in his path. Awed by its power, the Thunder King described the instrument as the voice of the gods, and named it Shen King, the Divine Bell.
Greetings, friend of the Grummles.
Phew, that was a close one. I never doubted you for a minute, though.
Many farewells.
So, Garrosh is looking for something called the Divine Bell? Whatever that is, it can't be good. I'll get this information back to headquarters. Excellent work. I'll be in touch soon. Oh, wait, it's because I'm in a disguise. Derp. I was like, why won't it let me mount? That's why. So, give me a moment. You'll also notice that this area is empty. That's because we haven't done the questing here to take this camp for ourselves. Actually, no, that's not quite the location, but it's a little bit more to the left over there. So we'll have to just simply fly back. Oh, by the way, I was able to pull off another accomplishment last night. Yay! Now, I was carried. I was part of some carry runs with because my main character is not that geared. But doing those runs certainly got me not only some good purple pieces of gear, but also lots of bronze to upgrade it. But yeah, basically I got into a couple of runs of people that were extremely high geared that were offering carry runs. Like, hey, join me and I'll help carry you so you can get your achievements. Because I love it when people are just nice like that, you know? So there's only one thing left to do, basically, in terms of... Because, like, I've gotten that done, but there's one thing left. Also, you can see some of the stuff I've done in Dragonflight. There's one other thing. And that would give me another title. Paragon of the Mists. So I'll be looking to see, because... Again, not that geared, but it certainly helps going through those heroic runs, because that certainly gets you plenty of bronze and gear to try and gear up. But I'll be looking to see if anyone's offering any carry runs for the Mythic Siege, so I can try and pull that off. Plus, it'll let me have an opportunity to try and see if I can actually get the Tusks of Manaroth that way.
This land tests us, friend.
King Varian has asked that I send you after his son to Dalaran. He believes that you can help negotiate the withdrawal of Blood Elves there. These Sun Reavers claim fealty to the Horde and represent a major threat to the war effort. Now that our very own Jaina Proudmoore is in charge of the Kirin it should be easy to convince her to remove this Horde threat to her city. Use the portal here in Lion's Landing to go to the Purple Parlor and lend what aid you can to Prince Anduin. I like how they are just immediately just like thinking like, well, Jaina's part of the Alliance, so of course she'd want to do this. That's not quite the case. And this is actually a quest that I like to point to people to let people know. Also, apparently there's an update for details. That anyone who after this thought Jaina was just like a Dreadlord or thought that she was that she was going... We can debate whether or not what she does end up going over the line, but that she does this as if she's just a word I'm not going to use that starts with a B, that there was more complexity to it, and there was actually more understanding as to why Jaina basically gets pushed as far as she does. And this is one of the quests that, to me, helps showcase that.
My father isn't asking you to pledge the Kirin Tor to the Alliance.
Anduin, I know exactly what he's asking. Oh, look who's arrived.
Miss Proudmoore.
Peace is not always the answer.
And did the good King Varian send you as well to bid for our aid?
Never.
So yeah, I just want to give you guys this perspective that she's got that title. She's also yellow. You'll notice that instead of green. There's a reason for that. Now, this does change, but this is a significant part in time when it comes to the Alliance and especially to Dalaran. At this point in time, and I want you guys to also understand something else about Dalaran. Dalaran is considered a neutral city for both factions. It's also no longer in Northrend, as you can see. Even though the loading screen showed Wrath, it's actually, I think, supposed to be either over the ocean or... It's supposed to be... Well, I think it's supposed to be down here, because by the time we get to Legion, now, it's actually not showing where exactly I am, but I bring this up because by the time we get to Legion, Dalaran is actually here in the Deadwind Pass, near Karazhan, and then they teleport Dalaran to the Broken Isles for Legion. So, my point is that, as you can see, it's no longer in Northrend in the Crystal Song Forest, as it was back in Wrath. And at this point in time, let me also remind you about what happened to Theramore. And when that happened, Ronan, who was the leader of the Kirin Tor at the time, died. In fact, he died saving Jaina. Because when the mana bomb happened, he shoved Jaina through the portal to get her to safety, and in doing so got himself killed in the process, basically sacrificing his life so that Jaina would live. And as you can see, it's also showing this is her new model as a result, where that white hair represents the effect that the mana bomb had on her. So this was not like her making some kind of like fashion statement or choosing to color her hair differently. This was a result of what happened with the mana bomb, which had an effect on her, obviously emotionally, and but also, let's just say the effects of that bomb is still having kind of lingering effects on her. But as you can imagine, her dealing with the trauma of Ronan sacrificing his life to save her had an effect on her, and she basically became the new leader of the Kirin Tor in Ronan's place. Now, would what happens later on in this campaign, this Alliance campaign, Pandaria, would things have been differently had Ronan still been alive? Possibly. But at the same time, let's also remind ourselves what Jaina has been through up to this point, and then we'll see what else she ends up going through here, which kind of pushes her. Now, I want you also to keep in mind also the book that I talked about early in this playthrough, that focused on Jaina, called Tides of War, where after the events of Theramore, she went to Orgrimmar, and she tried to basically drown the city in a gigantic, tidal wave. She was going to absolutely destroy the entire city and kill everyone in the city. And it basically took both Thrall, who was failing to talk her down, but then also Caligo showed up, and he was the one who successfully talked her out of it. Now, since then, Jaina has kind of tried to calm down and reel herself in, but she's still in a, I guess you could say, a fragile place, because she's still not entirely okay and hasn't fully recovered from the events of Proudmoore. So now we get to this point, where now basically Varian and the Alliance leaders are trying to get Jaina to be like, you should make the Dalaran an Alliance city, you know, and have the Kirin Tor be officially part of the Alliance instead of being neutral and such. And that leads to this, which I want you to kind of pay attention to what's going on here.
There's more to this land than meets the eye.
I'm glad to see you, friend. While I've learned much about diplomacy, I think Jaina is too familiar with my tactics. I could use a friendly hand in resolving this conflict. To which I would ask you, Anduin, why are you trying to get them to join the Alliance instead of having cooperation between the two factions, which is what you usually try to push forward and do, especially during Pandaria?
I will see you soon.
Jaina's refusing to hear me out. Father was hoping that I would have some pull with her, but I think she still sees me as a child. You, on the other hand, are a hero of the Alliance, and I know that she respects your deeds. Is there something that you can say to her that could convince her that we need her help? I guess he's doing this on behalf of his father. He doesn't want to let him down, but yeah.
Be careful.
So this is interesting. We actually get some unique dialogue choices here with Jaina.
What knowledge do you seek?
Varian sent you as well? I'm outnumbered in my own city. Let's go about this a different way. Put yourself in my shoes. Imagine that you are the leader of the Kirin Tor, the most influential archmage in all of Azeroth. What would you do? You could either say, I would commit our order to an Alliance victory, or I would struggle to maintain our neutrality. Very bold decision in times like these. Your honesty is refreshing. Tell me, leader of the Kirin Tor, what if the Horde killed your friends, your family, destroyed everything that you had? Could you imagine your convictions even then? Now, the honest answer is I'm not sure if I could. But sometimes you still try and strive to the ideals. Plus, you also have to be rational in terms of realizing that, well, that depends on the circumstances and who specifically was responsible. Because it's the same thing that I've said about Rogers. Yes, some people in the Horde were responsible for the death of her family, but not everyone in the Horde, which is what they like to apply. They like to apply every single person. So, if only we all shared your strength and conviction. To be honest, I struggle every day. But you are right. The Kirin Tor is bigger than you, me, Alliance, or Horde. I have a responsibility to preserve it, and to use its powers wisely. You and I seem to agree, but I doubt the King sees it that way. But do you think we can convince Anduin? Well, let's talk to him.
Nobody dislikes Garrosh more than me. I wrestle with my anger every day.
I'm pretty sure I dislike him more than you.
Look around you a moment. In the aftermath of Proudmoore, my first instinct was to decimate Orgrimmar, to kill every man, woman, and child in the city.
Jaina.
I'm not proud. Since then, Kalikos and I have talked at length about power and how it should be used. The Kirin Tor has a legacy of abuse. Kel'Thuzad turned his knowledge of the arcane arts toward necromancy. Kael'thas Sunstrider was also a student here, another of our fold who betrayed us.
That's not true, but okay.
Every day I ask myself, what's the right thing to do? Anduin, you know more than anyone. It's important to separate the Horde from its people. The Sun Reavers still operate within this city. Alliance and Horde work together. As long as we stay above the war, then there's hope for the world as a whole. I see our city as a beacon of light showing the way. If we can trust one another here, then there's hope for the rest of the world.
I understand. I'll talk to my father.
Thank you, Anduin.
So, Nice speech, and I do agree the part about separating the Horde from its people. We have to remind ourselves the amount of civilians, and I want you to remember that for what's coming up later. That there are lots of innocent civilians that have nothing to do with the war and other things that will happen later on. They are complete innocent bystanders that are just living their lives. And that's the same case on both factions. Civilians living in those cities, just living their lives. They're part of the factions, but they're not part of, like, the war and all that stuff. They're just part of a faction who took them in so they could be able to just live their lives. And that applies for every race on both factions. Okay? Now, I want to clarify the thing about Kael'thas, because, yes, the part about Kel'Thuzad, yeah, that is true. The thing about Kael'thas, though, that's actually not quite true, what she said. But they perceive it that way because of, well, I want to take you guys back to Warcraft 3. After the events of the Scourge invading Quel'Tha Lost and destroying the Sunwell, the Blood Elves basically were having to resort to trying to find a group that would help them during their difficult times. They ended up joining the Alliance. And then there was Garithos, the incredibly bigoted, racist, general in the Alliance, who basically wanted to execute and kill the Blood Elves just because they weren't human. Yeah. Let's just say that Garithos has a very lasting legacy, even all these years later. Because, well, let's just say a lot of players, including myself, kind of had this thought that, I guess Garithos is quite the representation of the Alliance. Because to this day, one of the things that that still is said about the Alliance is how racist, bigoted, and prejudiced they are. And this is not even just the case here, and that's just not me saying it. If you swap over to my Horde playlist, you will actually hear Lorthmar give a speech about how the Horde exists because of the Alliance, because of their racism, their bigotry, and their prejudice, you know? So it's something that has been going on for a long time. Now, what happened in regards to Kael'thas with that is that when Garithos basically forced Kael'thas into a position where he had to accept help from the Naga to even survive, which allowed him to charge him with betrayal as an excuse to try and kill him because he was racist against elves. That then the Naga helped Kael'thas break out, and Kael'thas ended up having to take down a lot of Kirin Tor to escape the city just to survive, and the Kirin Tor looked at that as a betrayal, when that was not the case. So when they call Kael'thas a betrayer of the Kirin Tor, that's not really true, but they think it is because, well, misunderstood history, right?
Have you ever seen such a place?
Well, thank you for your help, hero. I hear the wisdom in Jaina's words. Let's just hope that her faith in the Sun Reavers is justified.
Stay safe.
We should discuss matters back in Krasarang. For now, thank you for your help. There's a portal that can return you to Lion's Landing whenever you choose. By the way, Jaina does have different dialogue if you choose the other options that I didn't choose. I forgot to pull it up so I could read what the other dialogue is for you. If you are basically trying to convince her to stay with or have it join the Alliance rather than stay neutral.
Adversity, our constant companion.
The Explorers League sent an expedition north some days ago. We haven't heard from them since, and I'd sleep better at night knowing that our folks aren't in some sort of trouble. Last I heard, Bran Bronzebeard was heading towards Jujia in the Kunlai Summit. Find him and report back with their status. Fenny over there can give you a ride if you need one.
The soldier's duty is never done.
By the way, I apologize for the sounds of, just kind of like having a bite to eat of my dinner, which is like sitting over here behind me while I'm recording. Sorry that's kind of leaking into the mic. Oh, well, we meet again. Gotta grab a few more bites while we are flying. I trust that you're well and good. By the way, I should clarify that in lore, like, a week or so passes in between each of these quests, because remember, a number of these quests were not only time-gated, but also rep-gated. So you had to spend time doing dailies, getting your rep up and all that, before you did the next part of the quest, or next part of the campaign. Have you heard all the buzz that's been going around Lion's Landing? I heard that the Hordes learned of an ancient Mugu artifact, something called the Divine Bell. Yes, I'm the one who found the journal that told them that. So I am well aware, thank you very much. That bell's capable of turning a normal army into killing machines. And we will see this later. Spoilers. No one knows where the artifact was hidden, but the Horde's doing anything that they can to get their hands on it first. You may end up seeing this before you see the Horde part, because the Horde playthrough is going to be a lot longer than this one. So, yeah, just a heads up. I'll probably be uploading this way before I upload the Horde part. The reliquary is hot on the trail of that bell at Moguja. I wish it was voice acting, just so I could hear how they pronounce it, you know? I'll be a snot-nosed ninny if we don't beat him to the punch. I will hold you to that, Fanny. I can't do much as I'm just Hilda's assistant, but you can. I hope you can find out what they're up to. I will try. Here we are. Go wreck those Horde. Oh, by the way, I actually did have go to the temple and check that quest. Literally, the only difference is that when they bring out the hate that's within you, it's Garrosh instead of Varian because you're Alliance.
You'll find me wherever the action is.
Hey, Hilda. Oh, are you one of Brand's friends? Bet you didn't know that back in my archaeology school, he used to copy my notes. Really? And come on, Hilda, you saw me on the beach with Varian.
The answers are here. I can feel it.
Good to see you, Braun. Braun, I like Braun. Braun's always been one of my favorite dwarves. He's always fun. These artifacts must be several thousand years old. Have you ever seen the like? Braun, we did all that stuff in Wrath. Remember the Halls of Stone, dude? Remember Ulduar? Yeah? Just saying, dude.
Keep your eyes on the horizon.
Oh, why, hello there. Have you ever seen the like of these statues? Fascinating. I was scouting up along the ruins earlier, and I spotted something interesting up on the highest rise. I couldn't get close enough, but I think it might be one of those Mogu statues. Said it was moving. I can't get through all those nasty blood elves, but you look like you could. Would you mind going up there and bringing me back anything of interest? Serana?
How may I help?
And no, not the Serana from Skyrim. The Explorers League is here to excavate the ruins. It's my job to protect them. When we arrived, we found this place crawling with blood elves. Apparently, the Horde are just as interested in the Mogu as we are. This gives us quite an opportunity to thin our enemies' numbers and steal their findings too. Slay any blood elves that you find in the ruins and bring back whatever they are digging up.
Good luck, friend.
I love it when the Alliance is just casually accusing like the Horde of stuff, and I'm just like, and you're doing what differently? Because you're basically doing the same kind of thing, but whatever, I guess. It's not the same because we're part of the Alliance, therefore it's better.
It is too far away. need to target something first.
Alright, hold on. Where is... Oh, wait. That's right, we gotta face this guy again. I say again because I've already faced this guy on the Horde side, because this is basically the same type of quest. You do it on both factions, and you face the same guy. He's supposed to say something like, "You will not defeat the Korun!" or something like that, and he's just not saying it for some reason. But yeah, a Shaw-touched claw.
I am honored.
What are these blood elves after?
Farewell.
Oh, well done. I knew that you could get the job done.
Be careful.
Those blood elves are actively researching the Mogu. It's clear that Garrosh is searching for artifacts of power, but we won't let him succeed. Oh my, look at this thing! Oh, Bram, just look at this claw! I have a creeping suspicion that these Mogu are meddled with some dark magic. Oh, I hear ya, Hilda. Mogu mixing up with Shaw? Oh, I don't like that one bit. We'd better bring this evidence back to the king. Thanks for your help today, but we'll take it from here.
This land tests us, friend.
So just checking which one this is. I was looking for... Ah, just the demon hunter that I was looking for. I've received an urgent letter from the young Prince Anduin. He's playing host to his father, King Rin, and several other Alliance dignitaries at the Shrine of Seven Stars in the Vale. According to his most recent correspondence, something bad is happening at the city. Please go at once and speak with him. I must settle some affairs here at Lion's Landing, but I will join you soon.
Remember, the king is counting on us.
I'm supposed to get you to the Shrine of Seven Stars. Turn the music down just a bit. Light's music can be a little loud. The young Prince Anduin's been asking after you. After the excavation trip to Muguja, the Explorers League brought their findings back to our city in the Vale of Eternal Blossoms. They've been studying the relics that the Blood Elves were stealing. And what were you doing? I'm not supposed to say anything about this, but you got a face that says that you like a good dwarven stout, so I trust you. Really? Those Muga belong to a tribe called the Korun. From the looks of it, the Korun were loyal to the Thunder King thousands of years ago, before even the Pandaren came to rule this land. They worked from the shadows, and get this, somehow they managed to master the Shah. Don't know if I would say master, but that's debatable. If the Korun were capable of such a feat, ain't no wonder that Garrosh is after their knowledge. Imagine what would happen if that nutty, painted axe bludgeoner of Garrosh could manipulate the Shah to do his bidding. Yeah, imagine that. Oh, it makes me shudder even to think. It's not like we may possibly see this in the Siege of Orgrimmar. Here you go. Good luck. Hold on. I'm just curious.
Ishnu Allah.
Yep, as I thought. Shaw-touched footmen? Why is there a bunch of Shaw corrupted members of the Alliance throughout this area? Oh, that's why. Because we have this Shaw-touched claw that we found just hanging here in the middle of the city amongst the leaders. Well, not all the leaders, but Varian is here just standing next to a Shaw claw. And even worse, Rogers is here. If there's anyone on the Alliance that the Shaw would immediately be able to just fully corrupt, it's Rogers. Especially if this was, you know, the Shaw of hatred, anger. Because think about how much she has in her right now towards the Horde. How much they would feed off of that.
We're far from home, friend.
Well met, Demon Hunter. We have much work to do here.
Keep your guard up.
I can't believe this has happened. After all we've been through here in Pandaria, will our people never learn from their past mistakes? You know, buddy, that's something I keep wondering all these years later. But I think the answer is no. I keep hoping they will, but they kind of keep proving me wrong. Brand's expedition returned recently from Moguja, bearing a sample of Shaw for study. I had my reservations about this endeavor in the first place, and my worst fears have been realized. The Shaw's escaped containment. I do not need to explain the horror of bringing the Shaw into the heart of the Vale. We must dispel on any Shaw that we can find, and quickly.
Be careful.
Be ready for anything. We may have to use force against our own men. And women. Like this one here. I fought against the anger, but it overwhelmed me. You have my thanks. Thank you for saving me, soldier. You too, young prince. What happened? I couldn't control my own body. Now, there's a distinct difference of what's happening here. Really, David Guerrero? Really? Of what's happening here compared to what happens when this happens on the Horde side of things. I don't know what came over me. Thank you for clearing my head. This is kind of a ill-intended effect that was not really meant to happen on the Alliance side of things. And I point that out because when we do this on the Horde side, it's actually intentional. Because Garrosh is like, he does this on purpose because he wants to test it and his men. All hail the King of Gilneas, Gen Greymane! From the faraway bowels of tranquil Darnassus, Priestess Taronda, whisper when it arrives. Representing the Draenei, the wise and noble Farsi Nabundo of the Exodar. From the flying city of Dalaran, the leader of the Kirin Tor, Jaina Proudmoore. Yes, let's bring all the leaders of the Alliance here in close proximity to a Shaw. Yes, that's a brilliant idea. Let's have the Shaw corrupt all the leaders. Also, for some reason, Nabundo is yellow instead of green. Even Jaina is green right now, and she was yellow earlier. Also, notice that Velen isn't here, because apparently Nabundo has to be here representing the Draenei instead of Velen, but we basically won't see Velen until Legion, because Velen's kind of busy at the moment.
Stormwind is reborn.
I see that you and my son have been hard at work. Thank you for taking the initiative to aid our cause here in the Vale.
Serve with honor.
I see. So it was this Shah that caused such violent behavior in our troops. Yes, Father. I encountered Shah energy in my travels. At its full power, it's terrible to behold. We Alliance have rallied to defeat many enemies, my son. The Shah will fall to us just like any other. This isn't the same, Father. The Shah cannot simply be defeated. It feeds on the innermost weaknesses. It twists our thoughts. Don't underestimate it. Yes, Majesty. Look! By the light, is that a Shah? Yes, don't go near it. I sense great darkness emanating from this thing. Destroy it now. I agree. Only suffering can come from such a creature. Your Highness, we should study it, weaponize it. The Horde already outnumber us here on Pandaria. We need to gain every possible advantage. It couldn't hurt to study it, though I don't much care for the way it's looking at me. Ah, yes, very interesting. Perhaps I could distill it into a new power source. Garrosh is using every weapon that he can lay his hands on. Shouldn't we level the playing field? What do you think, Anduin? Garrosh's example is not one that I care to follow. The Alliance should make its own decisions, the right decisions. It's true, it may be possible to someday harness the Shah into a weapon, but we risk destroying our own people in the process. That is not a price I'm willing to pay. Well said, my son. This power is too dangerous. I will have none of it. Thank you for helping me today. I knew we could convince my father of the right course. Please go back to your other duties for now. AKA go back and do more dailies and work on your rep so you can get the next quest in the campaign. Though I don't have to do that because they have it where you can actually just go ahead and experience this one after another. Plus, you're also getting a lot more rep than you did back in the day. So when we return, we'll be continuing with the next step in the campaign. And whoo boy, we have some more interesting stuff ahead. Stay tuned.